choose your strategy, how to make the right choice for you. Now, that's what we're going to be talking about this week. So if that sounds interesting to you, hey, stick around. Hi, my name is Kevin Wright. I've been brokering property finance of all descriptions, from small buy-to-lets up to large development loans, for more than 20 years. And I've been a property investor for even longer than that. Now, if you watch some of my videos, you'll probably see that I get asked questions from time to time, actually quite a lot really. Now, probably question I get asked, and I see it asked in a lot of other places too, is, look, what's the best strategy for me? I.e. for the person asking the question, not for me. And like a lot of the best answers, it begins with, it depends. So what does the best strategy for you depend on? For starters, do you want to make a quick profit, or do you want to get long-term income? Do you want a challenging project, or do you want it as hands-off as you can get in terms of your portfolio, or something else altogether? Now, in one respect, it boils down to a choice of one or the other. Either buy to sell or buy to hold and rent out. There are many derivatives between each of those in exactly what you buy to sell or what you buy to hold and rent out, but essentially either sell it or keep it and rent it out. Now, buy to sell, which means you flip properties, gives you a big chunk of irregular cash. Hold it and rent it out gives you a monthly or sometimes quarterly stream of regular small income. Irregular big chunks, regular small chunks. Now, some people are forced down the buy to sell route primarily because they're not currently mortgageable. Usually it's something to do with their credit history, could be low income, one of those things. So they have to buy and sell. Do that for a sufficient time, your credit file gets repaired, and they're now mortgageable again, or you if that's you. Now, variation on that is buying it, doing nothing to it, and then moving it on for a profit. A bit more niche, that one. It's like buying it in a small auction and then putting it back for sale in the big auction, where you get many more eyes on the deal. Now, of course, it's probably more common to buy them, do them up if it's in a dilapidated condition, and then sell it on. But of course, buy it dilapidated, do it up, and then rent it out. Now, that's probably the most common way to make money out of property. Now, if you're being creative, that is. Now, if you want to be a bit more specialised, so if you want to do HMOs or service accommodation or commercial, then it pays to get a bit of education and understand exactly what you've got to do. Are there any licensing aspects you've got to comply with? Do you want to buy it ready, done up and ready to rent, or even rent it out when you buy it? Or do you want to do all that work to get it to that point yourself? Now, that's largely going to depend on if you want to recycle cash or not, because if you buy something that's ready to rent or even already rented, you're just going to put your 25% deposit down and leave it there. Great if you've got plenty of money, not so great if you haven't. Hey, have you subscribed yet? Click that subscribe button down there and that dingy belly thing so you don't miss any of my videos when they're released, which is every week. Great, thanks. I almost forgot, Instagram. Click that button too. Look, it's down there. Thanks. So deciding which strategy is more about, I think, deciding what type of tenant you want. So do you want to rent to a family or a single person or a couple on a single AST basis? Do you want to rent to multiple people in the same household? So HMO. Do you want to rent to people who only want to stay a few days or maybe a few weeks? Well, that's serviced accommodation or holiday lets. Do you want to rent to businesses? Well, that's commercial. Do you want to rent to business and then residential above? That's mixed use. Do you want to actually buy land and build on it and then sell it, and then hold it and rent it out? So people tend to focus on what they've got an affinity towards and away from something that they've got little or no experience on, at least in the beginning, until they, find their feet. But does it have to be just one strategy? Well, no, not really. You probably want one main strategy that you do most of the time. It's good to have a secondary strategy that you're working on and building, and possibly just give us time, maybe 5% of your time, to something that you're investigating to see whether there's some leverage there and it actually fits your circumstances quite well. So decide what type of tenant you want to rent to, which will decide what type of landlord you're going to be, which in turn will, going right back to the beginning, decide what your strategy is. Now, if you found that useful, I'm going to be back next week and I'm going to do another property finance video. Hey, see you then.
If you enjoyed watching this video, did you know every Monday morning at 8:30 I do a live Facebook Q&A. So if you want to start the week with checking out some answers to your property finance questions, click the link here.